Coming up on this episode of Performance TV, we'll show you how to save big by reducing the drag on your rig. And we'll have a couple bikes rocking some Kuryakyn.
Welcome to another edition of Performance TV. You know, diesel fuel, Tommy, just keeps going up and up and up. And all the trucks that are out on the road and rigs, race rigs, everything else, man, we'd like to save a little money. We found something here that's going to help us out.
Yeah, Brian from Aerotech Caps has got us something for the wheels here that helps increase the fuel mileage, makes things more aerodynamic. And if you're going to put the skirts on the trailers, why not do the whole package?
Correct. What happens is once you have a skirt and you have tank fairings on your tractor rig, if you can maintain that airflow over the deep well cavity of the wheels, both on your tractor tandems and trailer tandems, it'll help maintain that airflow. And we've seen savings as high as 2.5% by using these caps.
Yeah, I mean, a big hole in the center of the wheel, the air comes over, it's got to create disturbance.
It does. It goes inside, tumbles around, and comes out. We're going to flatten that out and maintain that nice linear airflow straight back.
Yeah, and these come in all different colors. You've got black, you've got white, you've got silver.
Correct.
So you can kind of mix and match whatever your rig is. You can match whatever you like. Plus, you probably do some custom stuff as well.
We do custom for large fleet orders, yes.
Yeah, if you have a big trucking company, you want to match all the trucks, you'll do a different special color for them.
Exactly.
But what I like about these, they're super simple, Kathy. They're super easy to put on.
Yeah, and Brian, not every rig has the same wheels. I mean, this particular truck has aluminum wheels. You've got them for a little bit of everything?
We do. We have a ring. All of the Accuride and Alcoa, who makes almost all of the aluminum rims, we use a 1/2-inch retainer ring. All of the different steel rims use a 5/8 retainer ring, which comes with an adjustable union, which lets you fit it exactly to what you need with no extra tools.
So let's say just one truck. How much fuel savings average over a month?
Well, if you figure the average truck runs 10,000 miles a month and you put them just on your tractor tandems, it's about $55 a month in savings if you're running an average at the 7.5 miles to the gallon and running 10,000 miles a month.
Put a calculator to that. Start thinking about, you know, adding some rigs into the fleet, and over 12 months, holy cow.
Yep. It's about $1,300 a year in fuel savings.
Wow, that's amazing.
One of the things I like about this is the simplicity of how easy these are to install. A guy he can even do this on the road. If he's traveling, you know, over the road, he can put these on in, you know, 5 minutes. You can have these on.
Exactly.
Now, where'd you come up with the idea for this clip? This is pretty neat. This is how they attach to the vehicle.
Right. People wanted to have full access to the inside of here to reach the air valve, to check for smoking lug nuts, check for leaks on the oil hub. So we needed to come up with a way to attach it somewhere other than on the hub. And the best way to do that was to use some type of a clip on the bead.
Hold it on the outside.
Yeah, so we worked with a company using a special spring steel and a design to help us reach in there and get this to hold on and clip onto the different rims. So there's a clip for aluminum and there's a clip for steel. So when you order, you have to specify what kind of wheels you're going to put them on.
Well, one of the tricks you showed me is you hold this up here, and we can put a little mark on the wheel, and then you place your clip right here. You want to make a little mark on the tire. Now we know where to put that at.
Exactly.
We can do it all the way around. We'll hammer these on and put it on.
All right, sounds good.
And the only tool I need is a hammer. And one of the tips you should is have a little bit of soap that helps these clips go on. So we're just going to apply a little soap to the clip.
You want it right on the outside of these fangs that reach between the rim and the rubber. If these tires have been seated on that bead for a long time, they really set well. So you want to have something to help it slide over that rubber.
Slide it in. Yep. So this is how simple it is. Right in the center of our mark.
Yep.
Tap it on there like a wheel weight.
You got it. Now, you can pull on that, it's not going anywhere. And all it's doing is retaining the pressure from the ring to keep that disc from coming off. So it doesn't use a whole lot of pressure, but you can pull on there very aggressively.
All right, let's get the rest on. Now, Brian, we got all the clips in place. Now, this is super easy to put on. We just hold this up and put a retaining ring around it to hold it in place.
That's correct. These little notches in here are made to pass the clips through. So all we're doing is sticking this clip on. It works best to go 180 degrees apart. Snapping this ring under here. Sometimes it works better if you take the window off. once you get these all on, you have to align the ring a little bit.
Just kind of make some minor adjustments.
It's on there.
You want to know how well that's going to hold it on. You were jerking on that pretty good. It won't come off.
And then this, so it doesn't rotate, this access window here is made out of polycarbonate. You cannot break it. You can hammer on it. It takes stone chips. And by keying it in here, even though the wheel's rotating, it will never go anywhere. It gives you visual access.
Yeah, if you're driving down the road, you want to check, you can walk by the truck, just take a quick look in there, make sure there's no oil leaking out of the hub.
Correct.
You're still able to access that. Still also be able to get to the air valve, check the tire pressure.
No tools, full access, and you can just snap it right back on.
I like these. These are nice, very simple, but yet have a very good purpose, and they're going to save you some money.
Definitely.
Wow, that looks great and money saving. We have more money saving ideas. We're going to do the trailer coming up next on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. Steele Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. FLOWMASTER, the exhaust technology company. Kuryakyn, tell us what you ride and we'll show you what we've got. And by CRC, chemical solutions to keep you moving.
Welcome back to Performance TV. We've moved outside, Brian. We've already put the aerotech caps on the trailer here, and that's not, as promised, that's not the only thing we're going to do to try to get the air away from this and make it a little smoother. Aerotech caps, you also have a trailer skirt.
We do. The best thing about the trailer skirt is it's a modular design. The whole thing ships in a box like this, common carrier. And there's 12 panels that all interlock with a fish scale design. It allows you to put it on with one person.
You know, Brian, what would kind of be cool is if you could kind of light this up somehow. Do you have a way to do that?
We also have reflectors that come with each set. These reflectors go on right here. They're out of the slipstream, and they go on each panel, which allows it to look like it's a lighted skirt. So what we do is just stick these on every time that the skirt has a new panel. And we use a reference point right here so that as you're passing this skirt at night in the left lane, it almost looks like it's lit.
Yes, it's going to light up really nice.
Yep. So we just keep adding the panels together as we go down the line, and we terminate at the landing gear. What he's doing underneath right here is grabbing each I-beam under the trailer, which you can see by these rivet marks. We've designed an integrated gusset which doesn't require any brackets on the inside. And so this hook right here grabs each I-beam. We've got a counter-opposing J-bolt that grabs the I-beam and cinches it down tight. So each one of these panels is freestanding by being cinched onto each and every beam, working your way down the trailer.
Brian, you spoke about when we put the caps on both the truck and back here on the trailer about savings. Can we expect the same kind of thing out of putting the skirt on?
Yeah, semi-trailer skirts generally, if they're over 30 inches, develop about 5% fuel savings. So when you combine our 2.5 with the wheel covers on both tandem sets and another 5 here, you know, we're getting up near 7% total fuel savings.
That was super easy to install, Brian.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And the best part is that if you do inadvertently damage one panel, you only have to do one instead of all of them.
I like it.
Well, Tommy, that's not the only thing we have. Brian has something else for us, and we're going to move right here to the back of the trailer. Brian, as we move to the back, what do we have here?
These are vortex generators. It kind of works like a plow in a field. It actually trips the air and creates a little mini tornado. Actually, each one of these makes 2 of them. And the purpose of that is to displace the air further back to release the vacuum pocket that the back of the trailer creates. You've got a low pressure area that is creating drag and holding the trailer back. So by accelerating the air through these vortex generators further back, we're reducing that drag.
Certain spacing between them?
About 12 inches for our design. So we have self-adhesive. It's a special acrylic adhesive, and as long as you clean it real well, you can just put these on just like this. They'll work like this, but you can't pressure wash your truck for 2 days after you put them on for the adhesive to completely cure.
Sure, that makes sense. Black or white, depending on what you want to go with. But that's not where it stops. We're also going to help even more with that vacuum pocket, and we're going to move to the top.
Right.
Guess we're taking things to new heights up here. We have our vortex generators that we're going to take all the way up the side. But Brian, you've got something special here on the top. It's really going to help with the vacuum.
It really does. What happens on a lot of the trailers is that you've got the header for the two barn doors that sticks up higher than the roof of the whole trailer. We've made this wing with vortex generators on the trailing edge that helps that air transition cleanly over this bar. So instead of the air hitting the bar and flying up in the air, we're creating a nice ramp that transitions that air cleanly around and down with a series of vortexes to help reduce that vacuum pocket. No one wants to put a hole in the roof of their trailer. We've designed it with a torsion bar connecting these pieces, and it allows you to just bolt this on the flange on the edge of the roof on both sides with 2 bolts here and 2 bolts there. And you'll set it and forget it's even there, and it'll save you another 2% on your fuel mileage.
Well, you know, Brian, everything that you've shown to us has been very quick, easy, simple to install. And if you want to find out more, we can just check out the website that you see there at the bottom of your screen. We'll have more coming up next on Performance TV. I'm ready to come down now.
Performance TV, presented by ARP, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Hey, welcome back to Performance TV. While Tommy's down there taking the exhaust off of the Street Glide we have here in front of me, Brian has joined us from Kuryakyn. What a huge line of products you guys have. This company's been around since '89?
That's correct, 1989.
And what, about 300 new products every year? What are you guys up to now for motorcycles?
Oh, well, we make so many products. We make performance products like these here. We have lighting, we have chrome, we have comfort items. Anything that you can dream of to put on a motorcycle, we probably make it.
And you guys started off with what, the GL 1500s and those type of bikes, but really have got into a lot of the Harleys. And if for some reason folks aren't familiar with the company name, we just go right back and think about Hypercharger. That's a product that started right with Kuryakyn.
That's correct. It was a staple product for us, and it's been strong ever since we came out with it.
That and the ISO products that you guys have, which you started off with just what, the pedals, or?
Yeah, we had the ISO foot pegs and the ISO grips were some of the originals. We've added floorboards to that. We have shift pegs, brake pedals, and now we have the new Kinetic line, which is the updated version of the ISO. So kind of moving into the future, we're coming out with updates to all our products.
Well, as I mentioned, we're going to be not only dressing up, but tuning up, and we're starting off right here on the Street Glide. While you and Tommy talk about all the neat things you're going to be doing down here, I'm going to step over here because this bike, we're going to add a little safety with some lighting, and we're going to make it look a lot better.
We're going to install the Perfect Storm kit from Kuryakyn today, and it's a pretty simple kit. You don't even have to get into the engine to increase the power and the sound of your bike. It's going to be exhaust, an air cleaner, and an EFI tuner. And Brian, I'm telling you, this is pretty simple. I've got the mufflers off, getting ready to take the stock exhaust off, but what I really like about this is you don't have to tear the engine apart. We're going to increase the horsepower, 14 to 18 horsepower.
That's correct.
All right, we got the exhaust off, and then after we get the new exhaust on, we'll put an air cleaner on it. And one thing you mentioned about the EFI tuner, it's not a module, it's not a box you have to put on here. You're going to use the stock EFI controller, but you're going to flash it, and you're not going to have to replace anything. You just plug into it and put a new tune-up on it.
That's correct. We don't have to get our hands dirty to tune this bike. So.
All right, let's get that new pipe on.
All right.
And while we're doing this, let's check in to see how Kathy's coming.
Well, Tommy, while you're going to be making that bike look and sound even better, we're going to make this bike look better and be a little safer at the same time. And this set from Kuryakyn is going to be really easy to install, and it's going to use a lot less amperage on your bike. And who doesn't want to put LEDs on? I'm going to go ahead and start changing out our turn signals right here. We'll check back in with Tommy.
What's pretty simple about this is you supply the brackets for here. We took this bracket for the exhaust off the transmission, put a new one on. But we also reuse the O2 sensors out of the stock pipe, right? We put the O2 sensors in here, reuse the flanges right here.
That's correct, and the O2 sensors are very, very important to reuse those.
I mean, we can't just get rid of them.
Well, yeah, you know, a lot of tuners out there don't use them, but we like to. You know, you change an elevation, temperature, things like that. The motor needs to adjust for that, so we use them. They work great.
Right. I noticed you also have two locations for them.
That's correct. So on 2009 bikes, they use a different O2 sensor. our pipes are set up to accommodate for that. And also for tuners that are using a dyno and like to build their own custom map, you can actually plug the O2s right into there and really get the most accurate reading.
Oh, cool. Well, we've got all of our brackets on. Now it's time to put the pipe on?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, well, while Tommy was over there getting all of his stuff done, I got a chance to go ahead and get the LED turn signals put in. Also got the gasket stuck in. And we've got the new taillight back here. And something else about this taillight, it's one of the pulsing LED taillights that you see on a lot of bikes. Well, you can have one too, and they definitely add some safety to it. What we need to do now is get all these lights hooked up. And for the Kuryakyn Panacea lights, they've got everything that comes right along with it. So easy with plug and play. There we go. The kit comes with everything you need, right down to the wire ties, so you can make everything nice and neat once we put this all back together. And what we have here would be our load equalizer. And what I mean by that is we put LED lights on the back of this bike. Well, the computer on this bike is sending a certain amperage back there, but the LED lights don't take quite as much. So all you need to do is get one of these right here, no matter what Harley you have it for. Even the one like this one that has an alarm on it, this will hook you all up. And if we happen to add the LED lights to the front down the road, you'll be able to do that too. Okay, well, simple as that. We just changed out the lights on the back of this bike with some great stuff. And we're going to have more coming up next on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Bushtec, the world's finest motorcycle cargo trailers. Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. Goodwin Competition Engines, your best choice to get you in the winner's circle. Aerotech Caps, manufactured in Michigan, the center of automotive innovation for generations. And by 4tires.com, a 100% American-owned company.
Welcome back to Performance TV. While we were at break, Brian and I finished up getting the new exhaust system put on. I'm going to finish putting this muffler on this side. I already got the one installed over there, and he's putting some heat shields on the exhaust. And it's pretty straightforward, Brian. It's been pretty simple. You hand tools, nothing, no fabricating. It comes with everything, and everything bolts right back into place.
Exactly. Just bolts right on. Real simple. Anybody at home can do it.
Yeah, I mean, you use some of the factory brackets that come with the exhaust, some of the clamps, and anybody can put this thing on.
Yeah, well, we spend a lot of time during the design to make sure that it's as easy as possible and very functional as well.
Well, we get this wrapped up. We'll start on the next part of the kit, the air cleaner. It comes with a brand new air cleaner, exhaust, and then we'll get to the EFI.
Sounds good.
All right, let's check back in with Kathy.
Well, Tommy, now that we got all kinds of lights on my bike over here, we got to do some on yours as well. And with our saddlebag extensions here, not only running lights, but you're also going to have turn signals, nice LEDs, and I'm just going to get this stuck right on here and get it lined up, drill some holes.
Brian, this Perfect Storm kit, it comes with the exhaust. We've got all that installed. Now it comes with an air cleaner. We're going to put that on. Now, what is this piece here? We've got our backing plate on here, and we're going to put this in, but what does this little piece here do?
Now, that piece really helps performance. It's designed with a parabolic curve that's really going to smooth out the airflow, make the air cleaner a little more efficient. And what that's going to do is it also covers up the fasteners. So we don't have to worry about if a bolt comes loose, there's no way that it's going to suck back into the motor.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is bolt coming loose going into the engine. That wouldn't be good.
Exactly.
I see it's got like a high performance air cleaner that comes with it.
That's correct. So it actually uses a K&N air filter, which is a lifetime reusable filter. You can just clean it when it gets dirty. Real high performance.
Yeah, a lot of flow to it, frees the air coming into the engine, makes it breathe.
Exactly. And one thing that's really nice with this air cleaner is it actually breathes not only from the sides like most air cleaners do on a bike, but it also breathes from the front as well. So that makes a big difference in performance.
All right, let's check back in with Kathy, see how she's coming on her project.
Okay, have all of our bolts put in and tight. We're going to go ahead and close this up just so it's not flopping around, make it just a little bit easier. Some other things that come along with this, just to trim it out just right. Another couple of chrome pieces here we're going to go ahead and get stuck on. Brian, I know that you can help us get the wires all set up so they're all nice and neat, and everything comes along with our kit, which No second guessing. It's all right there. So let's flip this around and
All right.
show me what we want to do next.
So what we're going to do is just install our wire keepers here. We're going to place a few of them along the bag. It's going to keep the wires away from any moving components, the belt, the tire, things like that, and just really clean it up.
Well, I finished this up. Hey, Brian, why don't you go ahead and go over there and help out Tommy?
You got it.
All right, Brian, we're going to reprogram the EFI unit on there. Now, what all does that entail?
Well, it's pretty simple. So basically, you're going to plug into the diagnostics port, plug into our tuning interface, and then into the laptop computer.
All right, now, what's this do? What is the tuning interface?
Well, what that is it allows our laptop to communicate with the bike. Now, what it's going to do is when we start programming the motorcycle, it's actually going to make a factory backup of the stock calibration that's in the motorcycle. And then when we load the new calibration in there, it's also going to keep a copy of that new calibration on the box itself.
So plug this in, plug it into the interface, plug the interface into the laptop.
That's it.
All right, and then you have all the information on the screen, and we send it to the bike, and we're ready to go.
Yep, hit a few keys and we're done.
Now this whole Perfect Storm kit, we put on the exhaust, the air cleaner, and the fuel injection, reprogramming of it. It's going to gain 14 to 18 horsepower.
That's correct, and that's at the rear tire, not
At the rear tire. I like it.
Yeah.
We never even touched the engine.
Exactly.
Boy, that's cheap horsepower.
It is.
All right, Tommy, well, now that you're done with the Perfect Storm installation, we're going to finish up these saddlebag extensions with the lights. Gonna look sweet. What about...
Sound good, gonna look good.
Well, you know, this exhaust looks great, but with these new extensions, I wonder if they have some other tips maybe, Brian?
You know, it's funny you say that because we actually do. We have these new slanted tips that are specifically made for our new saddlebag extensions. So these are available in black and chrome, just like the saddlebag extensions are, so you can really have a nice look.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Run your wires there, Kathy, and I'll help.
Okay, Tommy, if you can finish up that wire in there.
Got it.
Okay, that's all we have time for on this week's edition of Performance TV. See you next week.